The most important English lesson I ever learned wasn't in a classroom. It was on a stage in Brighton, England, with 300 people staring at me, waiting for me to fail. My name was next on the list for the Brighton Fringe Festival open mic night. My hands were slick with sweat. My prepared speech, a 3-minute bit about the confusion between cheese and cheers, was a crumpled ball in my pocket. The performer before me, a lyrical poet named Alara, had just received a roaring ovation. Her English was a waterfall of perfect metaphors and rhythm. Mine felt like a leaky tap. My friend Leo gave me a gentle shove. "Your turn," he said. "Just pull it off," I hissed back. "Pull what off?" "I have an accent. I will mix up my tenses." "They'll laugh at me, not with me." Leo looked me dead in the eye. "Then own the accent. Own the mistake. The confidence isn't knowing you won't mess up. It's knowing that even if you do, you're still worth listening to. Now go." The host called my name. A polite, hesitant clap followed. I walked to the mic, my heart a frantic bird in a cage. The lights were blinding. I saw a sea of blurry faces. I opened my mouth, but only silence came out. A terrible swallowing silence. And then I did the one thing my panic told me not to do. I told the truth. "I am terrified," I said into the microphone. My voice echoed, thick with my native accent. 2 minutes ago, I had a speech. Now I just have a heartbeat. A few people chuckled. It wasn't a mean laugh. It was a laugh of recognition. So I continued, the English words coming slower but clearer. "I will tell you why I am here. I am not a poet. My English is a construction site. There are holes. There is noise. Things are unfinished," I pointed to my head. "But I love this language. I love that in English you can be head over heels. In my language, you are just in love. English is more acrobatic, more laughter, softer, and this time warmer. I came here," I said, feeling a strange steadiness replace the fear, "because I wanted to see if my construction site could hold an audience for 3 minutes. Thank you for being my inspectors. For the next 2 minutes, I didn't perform a script. I just talked. I told them about my first confusing week in England, trying to buy cheese at a pub and toasting with cheers at the supermarket. I admitted I sometimes mix up ship and sheep. I used the simple past when I meant the present perfect. I did everything my English teachers had warned me against. But I did it while looking at the audience. I did it with a shrug and a smile when I fumbled. I owned the mess. When I finished, I simply said, "Thank you for your time. You have been very kind witnesses to my linguistic building project." The applause wasn't the roaring wave Ilara got. It was something better. It was solid, genuine, and it was for me. People were nodding, smiling. A man in the front row gave me a thumbs up. Back at our table, Leo didn't say, "I told you so." He just slid my untouched pint of beer towards me. "See?" he said. "You pulled it off, not by being perfect, by being present." That night, I learned the engine of fast learning, operational confidence. It's not the blind confidence of fluency you see in movies. It's the specific, actionable confidence to use what you have right now without apology. It's the conscious decision that your current English, with all its gaps and mistakes, is valid, useful, and enough to connect with another human being. After that night, my learning accelerated, not because I studied more grammar books, but because I feared less. I started conversations with strangers. I wasn't afraid to ask questions in shops. I stopped over-editing my emails, deleting and rewriting them 10 times. Every single interaction, no matter how imperfect, was another brick laid on my construction site. And each brick gave me more confidence to lay the next one. You see, fluency doesn't come from a state of perfection. It grows from a state of courageous use. The fastest way to learn any language is to grant yourself permission to speak it poorly, but proudly. You have to stop being a student hiding in the back of the classroom and become a communicator, building your bridge in real time, right in front of everyone. You really can pull off anything with that kind of confidence. Because the goal isn't to be flawless. The goal is to be heard. And you have everything you need right now to begin. So if you're learning English, or any skill for that matter, I want you to remember this story. The next time you feel that fear, that hesitation, remember the construction site. Own it. Be proud of the work in progress. Because that's where the real magic happens. That's how you truly learn. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe for more lessons learned outside the classroom. See you in the next one.